Who wants it more? So far the score in Sports Touring 1 is 2-1. Halsmer and Schmidt have the drivers' points lead over Team Lexus, but the Lexus boys hold spots 1, 2 and 3 in the team points. It's a case of who wants it more in ST2 as well. The nonamakers of HRPworld.com go head-to-head with Bill and Bob from Bill Fenton Motorsports. We'll find out who gets more when the Grand Am Cup Sports Touring cars hit the track at Barber Motorsports Park. It's a brand new venue and a new standard in American racetracks, and finding out how difficult this great venue will be in the wet, the Sport Touring races. This is round 4 of the Grand Am Cup. Hello everyone, I'm Lee Diffie, joined by Jack Baldwin, and as you can see we have very, very wet conditions here at this magnificent venue, Barber Motorsports Park, just outside Birmingham, Alabama, and very, very anxious will be the guys down in the pits who are going to have a hard day's work, and also our ST1 pole sitter. And Guy Hobbs is with one of those guys right now.
Thanks, Lee. I'm down here with Ian James. They won at Homestead. They were second at Phoenix. And Ian, you've got the car on the pole here at the Barber Motorsports Park. However, with this torrential rain coming down, the rear-wheel drive Lexus could have troubles today.
That's right, Guy. I mean, obviously the wet weather wasn't what we were looking for today. We've got the Lexus really flying in the dry, and we haven't really done much stuff in the wet, so we're hoping for a good result, but I'd much rather the front-wheel drive in these conditions, probably.
This track is a beautiful and today a very wet 2.3 mile 16-turn true road course. It has 80 feet of elevation change and a smooth racing surface. But today the water's sheeting across the track, and the puddles that will develop are going to make it very, very demanding for the drivers. Passing's going to happen wherever and whenever you can get it done.
Let's take a look at how they will line up at Barber Park on this very wet day in Alabama. And for the second time this year, the Team Lexus entry of Tim Gaffney, Ian James will start from the pole. So that's 2 each for those guys and the Honda of America racing team. Matt Connolly in the BMW Z3 will start outside the front row. John Schmidt, the points leaders there, along with Pete Halsmer, will start from P3 alongside Chuck Goldsborough and Andy Lally. Back to the third row, Dwayne Nyer in the BMW 328 alongside Steve Olson. Back to row 4, Scott Schlesinger, who got into a little bit of trouble in Phoenix with Chuck Goldsborough. He will start there alongside Branson Patch in one of those beautiful new BMW Z4s, and they're continuing the development on those machines. We welcome Chad Gilsinger to the Barber Park, and he will enjoy his run in the Grand Am Cup Series. And the minis are back. Tony Nuzzo, Shane Lewis and the gang, they are here. And those machines are getting quicker and quicker. And Jack, that should be pretty fast in the rain today, that little Mini.
I think that's one of the cars to watch today. I really, really do. That, of course, the Audi is always a factor in weather like this. But I think at the same time, Pete Halsmer, the man with the experience.
Back on row 8, there is your ST2 pole sitter, Howie Liebengood and Will Nonamaker. That's their second consecutive pole position, and they once again will be strong in the ST2 class. Steve Petit and Mike Bavaro, they share the second Mini. And right at the back of the pack, had some differential problems, is John Rutherford in the third Team Lexus entry in the Sport Cross wagon. As the boys wind around. Now, a little bit of action happened as we were coming around on the previous lap. Outside front row sitter, Matt Connolly, the hood flew up and smashed into the windshield. He's at the back of the pack trying to make his way through. We work to green. Ed Magner in the Cavalier is stuck on pit lane. Problems, the car will not start, and we get underway.
And as they drive down into turn 1, they don't know what to expect. There's a big stream running across right there. You can see them, they just drove through it. And there's a lot of streams. They're gonna have to figure out where the puddles are, where the grip is. Everybody's gonna be searching for grip, you know, figuring out how to get around this track. Keep an eye on that Mini, though. I think that Mini could be a real spoiler today.
Tony Nuzzo enjoying being back in the Grand Am Cup Series after missing the Phoenix round. They sort themselves out there, Scott Schlesinger in the Speed Source Boxster. But it's the Team Lexus boys already up front. Chuck Goldsborough and Tim Gaffney. Look at this big move on the inside. One of the BMWs ducking up there. That's the 22 machine of Steve Olson. Nice work early on.
Now you see the big puddle. There's a big puddle right in the middle of that corner down low. So when you take the inside line, you're going to drive to this huge puddle.
Tim Gaffney, Steve Olson, far left of screen. The second Lexus is Chuck Goldsborough, the team principal, trying to squeeze through. Then it's John Schmidt in the Honda of America racing team Acura, the points leader in ST1, sitting fourth at the moment.
You know, and right now, once again, they're just running around. They got to put a little heat in the tires. They're looking at what do I got to work with here? You know, how bad is the track? Where are the streams? Where are the puddles? You know, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get off in the grass. You get off the track now in the grass, I mean, you just don't stop it till you hit something. As
Steve Olson continues to apply the pressure to Tim Gaffney. Chris Neville, can you update us on the situation with Ed Magna?
Yeah, these guys had a problem right at the beginning. The battery died out. They couldn't get the car started. These guys are the winners from Daytona, so they were hoping for big things here today. But right now, they're looking to drop a new battery in the car and get out there. Might be a good thing just to try and finish this race, though. Back to you, Lee.
Yeah, frustrating there, and we also welcome Buddy Norton back, a former champion, and he's teamed with Ed Magna this round, but they've got some misfortune there. Meanwhile, Steve Olson leads the way in the BMW from Tim Gaffney, and here comes one of the Z4s, the new Z4s, straight up into the mix.
And I'll tell you, Steve Olson in that BMW has done a great job. He's just very smoothly taking it right to the point. Nice, obviously a good rain driver.
Very good. So they're starting to come to grips with these wet conditions, but it is the BMW of Steve Olson who leads the way. Then from Tim Gaffney, we go back to Branson Patchett is in the Z4. Look at this, Scott Schlesinger in the Boxster. They're mixing it up nicely.
The Boxster's got a nice balance, a very, very, good handling car. Obviously, it's going to do well, but look right past there. Here it comes. There's the Audi and the Mini. They're moving to the front. If it was me, I'd want to be in the Audi today.
Absolutely.
Four-wheel drive, man. Let it rain and put me in the Audi.
We did mention at the top of the show about the problems experienced by Matt Connolly. Guy Hobbs, can you update us?
Yeah, Matt brought it in at the end of lap 1, and the Grand Am officials said you can't go back out. There's too much damage. The windshield is cracked. The hood is damaged. So that's the end of the day for the Z3 that started on the front row.
What a shame. You asked that question, Jack, didn't you? You said, did they break the windshield? Well, the answer is yes.
And can you believe that? The hood pins. I mean, put the hood down, put the hood pins back on. I guess the rain got everybody all distracted and got everybody all nervous. They forgot to put the hood pins in. It could have been a lot worse if it happened in the race.
Steve Olson in the CSL Racing BMW 330i has a firm grip on this race at the moment. The day is over for Connolly. We'll be back.
With our advanced VTM four-wheel drive system and 240 horsepower engine, you can leave the distractions of modern society behind.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm gonna go watch a DVD.
Or not. Introducing the Pilot, built by Honda.
Some people believe there's a carpentry gene, and I think I got it. Hanging things, I'm a little hit or miss on. But with the Black & Decker Bullseye, it's foolproof. I just find a stud, hang it on the wall, and it self-levels. Gives you a straight line every time.
The Bullseye from Black & Decker. It's there at your fingertips. Armor All Protectant Wipes. They don't just clean and shine. They protect with just a wipe.
You do it every day, but you've never seen it done like this. It's extreme everyday driving. See stop-and-go driving. Bumper-to-bumper bedlam. Lay on a horn, it's dreadlock, baby. Ramp up the action with the death-defying uphill horn.
This may not look extreme to you, but it is to your engine. Fram Tough Guard oil filters, tough enough to handle the extremes of everyday driving. Fram, do you drive tough?
It's gonna be awesome.
Big Channel's coverage of the Barber Park Twin 200's is brought to you by BMW. Visit your local BMW centre for a test drive. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. The rain continues to fall here at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama. The race continues, and it's not getting any easier, but we're seeing a couple of magnificent driving performances, most notably that of Steve Olson out in front. And then take a look at that Toyota Supra that's doing a wonderful job. Ron Pauly And car 60 has worked his way through the field nicely, and Tim Gaffney is getting shuffled back. Now Scott Schlesinger in the Porsche Boxster. He's up there for Speed Source Racing, the 68 machine. Gaffney's been shuffled back to 4th and running 5th. Yes, here comes, it is in the Z4, running nicely, and then back behind those guys, the Audi. Jack, your car for this race, it's coming.
The Audi is coming. I'm telling you, these guys in this Audi, once they get the current, they build up a little confidence, just start driving it harder. If I was on the radio with them, I'd say, guys, pick it up, go.
Look at this, the Z4 Branson Patch now starting to apply the pressure right there to Tim Gaffney as they push through those puddles. It's hard going in the rear-wheel drive Lexus, and Chuck Goldsborough, who we saw up the front earlier, we've just been informed from the guys in the pits that he has some kind of a miss in the 0 car, and that's why he has dropped all the way back to 13th. Here comes the Audi.
Here comes the Audi. Takes on, maybe get 2 of them? Nah, get 1. He'll get, that's a good job there. I'll tell you, Steve Olson, he is doing an ultimate driving job in the ultimate driving machine, that BMW, that 22 car up front. But here, like I said before, and I don't want to say too much, that Audi, that's the car to be in.
John Legg at the moment for LM Racing, just slowly picking them off one by one. We've got such a long way to go. Just 4 laps in the books. This is an 87-lap race, or 2.5 hours, whichever comes first.
And you know, on a day like today, the Audis typically they're not the strong car in the drive. They struggle when it's dry. They look forward to days like this. They relish, you know, they want it to rain. Everybody else doesn't want it to rain. They want it to rain because it's their day. And so they're trying to make the best of it. This is a chance for them to win. Look at how the Lexus, every time it goes down the straightaway, it does that tail wag. It slides back and forth. I mean, he's just hanging on to that thing at speed. In the car, that is very scary. It just takes your breath away.
Look at the Audi, just hugged that corner and climbed off it so quick. He's already past Tim Gaffney, our pole man, who now gets shuffled back yet another position. The Audi is gaining strength and getting faster and faster.
You see that BMW turn sideways right there?
Branson Patch.
Absolutely. That thing.
They've had some bad luck this weekend because Dave Tuati smashed that up against the wall, and well, they've had some problems. But that car is back on track now, as you can see.
See, now they're starting to get into the race a little bit, and they're getting a little confidence. The race is, you know, the track's starting to dry up. Yeah, a little bit. Now is when you got to like go, and this is when they start like, okay, feeling like slide around. They're over those first couple of laps, you know. So now is when we're like, how fast can I go? What can I get away with?
Well, the Mini is with Tony Nuzzo at the wheel, maintaining 9th at the moment, working way forward. But these TC Klein BMWs are doing nicely. Steve Peffer in the 2nd car, number 12, now working on Tim Gaffney. Whoosh, right up the inside. Right behind his teammate now, Branson Patch. So here come the TC Klein machines. BMWs are having a good day in the rain, so too the Audis. But it's Steve Olson up front in the BMW 330i, leading the way. There's Tony Nuzzo.
Look at that little thing. It's cute, isn't it? It's got, I mean, look at it. It's doing well. I mean, it's got a little car, real lightweight, you know, big old tires. That car could be a factor if it stays wet. But it looks like the track, you know, it's starting to get some little lines on it. At least the streams are gone. The big puddles, the big puddle right in that corner looks like it's not there anymore. But you can see how it gets deep on exit. It blows out from underneath the car.
Here's the battle for the lead. And wow. Ron Pauly in the Toyota Supra has got right up with Steve Olson. And Steve has enjoyed his time out front, but this Supra is strong in the wet. Whoa! Olson!
Hang on!
He's lost it. He gets it back. Great recovery.
Oh, man, he's going like, whoa! And I'll tell you, if you get off in the grass, you do not stop. You pick up speed and you hit something. Well, let's see if he can pull it off. Well, I'll tell you, Steve Olson is driving it in there as hard as he can.
Steve Olson, who's a senior pilot with Continental Airlines. Well, that was just a big crosswind that hit him then.
Yeah, right.
Guy Hobbs, tell us more. How is it down there in pit lane?
You know what? This is going to become a big, tough test today. It's drying out in a hurry. The sun is out. We're going to get some dry weather tires going on these cars fairly soon. When they make those pit stops, those second-round drivers such as Andy Lally, we'll see them charging. So this is going to be an interesting race. It's going to be the battle of the tires, I believe.
And then it gets down to the pit stops. I mean, we'll see. Let's see who can do the pit stops fast.
Battle of the tyres, battle of the drivers, battle of the brands. BMW leads Toyota, leads Porsche. This is what it's all about. Stay with us.
The BMW 5 Series has changed very little since its introduction in 1997. And with good reason. Because over the last 7 years, it's won more awards and accolades than any other car in its class. Begging the question, what could possibly be changed to improve it? The least price. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Go ahead, you can handle it. Now you can take on the curves, the twists, the turns. With the revolutionary Craftsman 3D sander, only from Sears. Its 3 rotating discs pivot, adjusting to all sorts of shapes and surfaces. Convex, concave, curved, and flat. Call now for the Craftsman 3D sander. Now $29.99. Save $20, only from Sears. Ever spent hours hand sanding, only to end up tired and frustrated? With the Craftsman 3D sander, those hours turn to minutes. Variable speed control lets you adjust to all types of jobs. Light sanding for fine finishing. Aggressive for when you really need it. There's a wide variety of specialized discs available that'll give you even more project possibilities. Work on metal, buff and polish, get rid of rust. Craftsman makes anything possible.
Call now for the Craftsman 3D sander, only from Sears. Call 1-800-519-1414.
Each and every Friday night, you can tune into Speed at 11 p.m. Eastern for Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. Great talkback show. Call in and talk about anything in the world of motorsport with Dave. He'll tell you what's on his mind, and you can do the same. Each Friday at 11, Wind Tunnel here on Speed.
And as the camera pans along that back stretch, you see all those Porsches from the Porsche Driving Experience, which is the Barber Motorsports Park, is the home for the Porsche Driving Experience.
And we did have a Porsche out in front while Steve Olsen enjoyed some time out in front while we were away. He had a spin, and that handed the lead over to Ron Pauly in the Supra. Then he had a spin, and we then had Scott Schlesinger in the Speed Source Boxster in the lead for a moment. That has now changed, and we have the number 12 BMW Z4 of Steve Pepper as we get back to green during that caution period, because Mike Johnson from Archangel Racing in the new Nissan Sentra, he spun, went into the gravel trap and needed to be recovered. And Steve Pepper has come from 21st on the grid to now lead this race. Great effort. Leg sits in second in the Audi. Then we get back to Ron Pauly in the Supra, who recovered after that spin. No damage to the car. He just went off to the side of the circuit, across the grass and back on again. And here is Branson Patch in the second of the Z4s.
And look at that Audi. I mean, he's come from 14th. Nice pass on the inside.
That's Ron Pauly.
Ron Pauly
is Supra.
He is putting forth a real effort today. He's taking the car to the lead. He spun, went back. Now he's going back to the lead. Let's see if he can get there. That Audi's going to make it tough on him.
Chris Neville, what do you have for us?
Well, Steve Pepper and all the guys on the number 12 car are pretty excited down here. They had some problems in qualifying. They never got a clear lap. They had and then we had a black flag in qualifying, so they had to start way in the back of this race. And right now, in this wet condition, Steve's just running that car so well, and it's working extremely well in the rain. However, as the track is drying out, they're kind of unsure how the car is going to be handling. So right now, these guys would like to see it stay wet.
They've had a real testing weekend because he was a little disappointed with himself, but Dave Twatty smashed the number 92 Z4 into the wall, and he had to drive something like 170 miles to pick up a new windshield. It got sent by the courier company to the wrong zip code, so he had a bit of a trying and frustrating weekend, and then those problems there that Chris mentioned with Steve Pepper, but it's all good at the moment for Steve. Out in front in this new Z4, and just like the Mini and just like the the guys in the Grand Sport category of the Grand Am Cup Series. They're developing these new cars for Grand Am Cup Series racing, and it's great to see these new models on the racetrack.
They're working hard, and they're doing better each and every race.
Here's our leader of ST2. We haven't seen much of the ST2 guys yet. They've been struggling further back. It's Bill Fenton. We welcome Bill back. He missed the last round, and I'll tell you what, that was due to business commitments, but it's been costly to Bill because his co-driver, Bob Beattie, leads the ST2 championship. And with Bill missing that last round, he's now back in 5th in the points, but they lead the category at the moment, and they lead it convincingly. Henderson running in 2nd. Howie Liebengood a little further back behind those guys. Here's Steve Olson, previously the race leader, and he's got Bill Fenton all over the back of him in the Acura Integra.
You know, on a day like today, setup is somewhat important, but when you see these performances, you see these drivers take these cars from the back to the front, really that's just driver ability at this point. Being able to negotiate and deal with the rain and deal with the limited amounts of grip you have, being smooth with the car, and just kind of feeling your way along. It's not easy.
We mentioned to you earlier about these succession of spins. Let's have a look. Here was our race leader. Wow, that's what happened.
A little help.
So it wasn't Steve Olson's fault. He got help. See you later, baby.
See you later.
Could have been payback time.
Yeah.
And the reason for the yellow I mentioned earlier, Mike Johnson from Archangel Racing, debuting this new Nissan Sentra. Nissan keen to have this car in production racing. And he just beached himself for a moment, needed to be helped out of there, and so it all kind of happened, and that led to this guy inheriting the lead. Schlesinger stopped, he pitted, and there was a driver change there. Sylvain Tremblay is now behind the wheel of the Speed Source Boxster, and doing his best to work his way back up through the field, but it's all good for Steve Peffer at the moment. He will hand over to Don Salama in a little while, and this track continues to dry. You can see the sun desperately trying to push through here in Alabama. We'll be back with plenty more. This is Grand Am Cup.
Designed by amateurs, built by volunteers, piloted by the incredibly brave. Red Bull Flugtag. To enter your human-powered flying machine, visit redbullflugtagusa.com.
Inside's the difference. It's what's inside that makes the difference. Between just handling the road, attacking, and scorching the pavement. Between just moving and riding curves like you're on rails. Between just going and tearing the wind in half. The 227 horsepower, turbocharged, all-wheel drive Subaru WRX. Subaru, driven by what's inside.
Fuel, air, power, speed. Champ cars roll into the Milwaukee Mile. Live race coverage tonight, 8:30 Eastern, exclusively on Speed.
You're looking at race leader in the Barber Park Sport Touring 200, Steve Peffer. After problems in qualifying, was forced to start 21st on the grid. He now leads this race by some 22, almost 23 seconds. Don Salama is his co-driver in the TC Klein Racing team with the BMW Z4. He will take over from Steve, but what a wonderful job he's done in these trying conditions.
And you know, they've talked about these Z4s and how effective they can be, and they were expecting a lot of performance out of them. Here it is, a couple of races in the series, and here they are.
Let's get back to it. Pete Halsmer's worked his way up to 2nd in the Honda of America Racing Team Acura. 3rd is the Mini. Yay, go to the Mini. Shane Lewis sits 3rd. There he is. Dennis That's the super of Ron Pauly. And here comes Sylvain Tremblay in that Speed Source Boxster. Some forceful driving, some great lap times from Tremblay has seen him scythe his way through this field. Ron Pauly, he'll be due to hand over to his co-driver. Earlier, whilst we were away, we had a little bit of action between Lewis in the Mini and Pauly in the Supra. Let's take a look at this. Jack Baldwin, talk us through.
And really, that's not like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's like, that's part of the deal. I'm going to come up and punch and whack you a couple times, get your attention. Hey, I want to get by. See ya.
It's just funny, a Mini beating up on a Supra.
Yeah. It's like, I think I'll hit him one time, give him a good, get his attention. See ya, and I'll get by.
I'm sure Ron Pauly isn't laughing, but anyway, just one of the interesting footnotes here of this Grand Am Cup Series sport touring race. Later on Speed, you can join us for the Grand Sport race from Barber Motorsports Park here in Birmingham, Alabama. This wonderful facility, the brainchild of George Barber, a local entrepreneur, a tycoon, property tycoon, just a motorsport nut. And this was his dream, and he, some $55 million later, it is a reality, and it's one of the best, one of the most beautiful racing circuits in the world.
And what a nice thing to do it for the people of Birmingham especially, and for people everywhere to come to, obviously. But he wanted to do something for the people of Birmingham. He was born and raised here, and he wanted to give something back.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's an awful special gift.
Well, one of the nicest, the easiest ways, it's kind of encapsulated it all. It has the flair, like it has a European flair about it, but with some American track technicality to it. So it's good. I mean, the drivers enjoy it. So far, the feedback from everyone who's been here, the landscaping here is unbelievable. Millions and millions of dollars spent on landscaping, and there was no grass seed thrown down here. It's all sod. I mean, this place is very, very high end.
Yes, and it's got a 145,000 square foot museum, the largest motorcycle collection in the world, living museum, also the largest collection of Lotus race cars. It's a park-like setting, great for families. Wonderful place to visit and come to.
Bill Fenton leads the way in ST2, currently sits 13th overall. Closest to him in the 29 machine is Bob Henderson, which is the sister car for Bill Fenton Motorsports. So they're running 1-2, nice job. And sometimes they fluctuate, sometimes Fenton Motorsports run 2 cars, sometimes it's just one for Bill and Bob Beatty. A successful day for those guys. They've got the wood on the Nonamakers and the HRPworld.com team at the moment. And of course, they are the two teams slugging it out at the top of the ST2 battle. Of course, Ed Bankner, unfortunately, had some problems at the beginning of this race. The car would not start, so they have lost some very valuable championship points today here in Birmingham. The action will continue. Stay with us. The Grand Am Cup Series continues.
The 2003 Lincoln LS V8 and BMW 540i recently went head-to-head in a series of handling tests. The result? The LS V8 out-slaloms, out-corners, and has better handling performance than the BMW 540i. The new Lincoln LS V6, starting at $29,495. There are those who travel, and those who travel well.
Hi, I'm Sam Amolo. You know, the key to any project is using the right tools, including the right tools for keeping your hot rod and garage looking like new. For years, I've used Grease Lightning for those tough jobs, and now Grease Lightning's introduced another tool for cleaning. Orange Blast is the premier super strength cleaner degreaser. It cuts through tough grease and grime, and it's safe on most surfaces. Combining Grease Lightning's secret formula with the natural degreasing power of pure orange oil makes Orange Blast the best. The right cleaning tool, Grease Lightning Orange Blast.
280 horsepower V8. 0 to 60 in 6.42 seconds. The new Lincoln LS, the driver's luxury car. There are those who travel, and those who travel well.
3 straight wins mean Schumacher is on fire. Now the series moves on to Monte Carlo for the Monaco Grand Prix. Formula One, the Monaco Grand Prix, tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, exclusively on Speed.
you're watching the 4th round of the 2003 Grand Am Cup Series. These are the Sport Touring cars. Later on today on Speed, you can catch the Grand Sport division as well. GS1, GS2, the faster, more exotic cars. But these are the ST2 vehicles we're watching at the moment. And while up front, Sylvain Tremblay is dominating this race, controlling the race outright, and also the ST1 category. The ST2 battle is pretty intriguing. You're looking at Bob Beattie here, the points leader in this class, being hassled by the 43 machine, Will Nonamaker, who is right up there in the points as well, tied for 2nd and looking good. Their scoreboard so far this year reads a third, and of course they won the last round. That was a tremendous 4-way battle in Phoenix.
Oh, it was great to watch. Lap after lap. I think it went on for, what, 45 minutes?
Yeah.
And Ed Magner did a great job driving that. I've never seen anybody drive a Cavalier so fast.
Sadly, Ed is a little further down the order today. Some mechanical problems prevented the car. Well, there's Ed right there, just running out of shot in the 48 car.
Yeah, he could have certainly been a factor. He's been a factor all along. But these cars running for 2nd place right now, you know, they're so equal, and they're just, you know, Will's just kind of trying to figure out, you know, where has the car in front of me, where is he weak? Where can I get by? You know, and there's not many choices here, obviously.
Well, whilst we're away, there's been quite a bit happening as far as the weather's concerned. We're going to get down to pit lane to Guy Hobbs and Chris Neville because it has been raining, it's stopped raining, it's come back. It's caused a little bit of confusion, Guy, with the teams as to whether to run wets or come in, go for slicks.
It has caused some confusion, and even as you say that, we see more heavy clouds coming in. So let's give you an update. Sylvain Tremblay, our leader, is on wet weather tyres. He's never came back in. And they don't plan on stopping again before the end of this race. They think they can just scrape it out with enough yellows. All 3 Lexus guys, they all came in and they've all switched to the dry tires. The 3 Acura, oh, and a big slide right in front of me from one of the Lexus, actually, in fact. The 3 Acuras, the 42, 43, and 44, and the 27, they're still all on rain tires, but the 29 Acura, that is on dry tires. So it's an interesting mix, and I do see some nasty clouds coming our way, so I think sticking on the wet weather tyres may pay off.
Sadly, we see the number 20 Mini stranded on the side of the track. Shane Lewis, Tony Nuzzo, at one stage, they led this race. And that is just a local yellow only. It's not a full course caution. And at one stage, they were riding high and mighty, but it's gone a little bit backwards for those guys. That's a shame. They were having such a strong run.
And it was fun watching them bring that car to the front.
Well, this is a very popular car, and earlier this weekend, Guy Hobbs took a closer look.
Growing up in the UK, it was, of course, mandatory to drive a Mini. Plus, they were very affordable. Well, this right here is the new Mini that was launched in 2002, the Mini Cooper S. However, in 2003, Shane Lewis has decided to race this in Grand Am Cup. And Shane, there really aren't many differences between the two.
That's what's quite unique. The Lava Records Mini here, built by Body Motion out of New Jersey, has done a great job with the safety cage in there, harnesses, seat. But other than that, the car remains mostly stock.
Okay, well, let's have a look underneath the bonnet.
Yeah, underneath the hood here, we have primarily a stock Mini engine. We have moved the intercooler to get a little better cooling to it, but the supercharger and the pulley is in the stock location, and a little bit different air cleaner, but other than that, remains primarily stock.
One thing we know for sure, though, this weekend, this will be the top finishing British-made car.
A wonderful machine, and disappointment for Shane Lewis and the team. And as you heard there, the cars are put together and developed by Body Motion out of New Jersey. Mike Bavaro and his team do a wonderful job, and they're learning every single round more and more. This is the battle for the lead. ST1 and the overall race lead. We've come under full course caution right now, so that'll close it up even tighter than what it is. Look at the Supra getting all out of shape. Car 60, that's Brian Peel. It's in there now. Ron Pauly did such a great job earlier in this race, and Sylvain Tremblay is in the Speed Source Boxster. First and second on the road. Don Salama is in the BMW Z4 in third, and he will close up on these guys as they are hard at it. Porsche, Toyota, BMW, and Pete Halsma is not done with yet either in the Honda of America Racing Team Acura. And there is the pace car out onto the circuit. The field will bunch back up, and we'll be back. The talk about tyres will continue as the weather is still in question.
Introducing the Pilot, built by Honda, with four-wheel drive and a quadruple 5-star safety rating. Invent a shortcut.
Dirt bikes, road bikes, Harleys, and more. Two-Wheel Tuesday is the one day devoted entirely to motorcycles. If you like going twice as hard on half the tread, then Tuesdays are your day. Two-Wheel Tuesday, every Tuesday exclusively on Speed.
No matter how strong your hands are, they can be 4 times as strong with these. Craftsman Gripmaster pliers. The secret? The patented Power Plus cam mechanism multiplies your hand force 4.6 times, compared to only 2 times with ordinary pliers. And jaw force is only half of the story. No other pliers work as both locking and regular pliers with just the flip of a lever. Simple. Call now for the Craftsman Gripmaster 2-in-1 pliers. On sale for just $19.99. Save $5. This tool saves time, too. The self-adjusting jaw automatically adapts to thick or thin materials. The V-notch jaw and interlocking teeth provide a firm hold on rusted bolts and hex-shaped nuts. An award winner, Gripmaster 2-in-1 pliers give you more gripping power with less effort. Guaranteed forever. Craftsman makes anything possible.
Get this sale price, $19.99. Call 1-800-663-8855.
We're back at Barber Motorsports Park, round 4 of the Grand Am Cup Series for sport touring cars, and we are back under green after a brief caution period for the number 20 Mini to be rescued, and the rain is coming down. When we went to break, I said tyres would be in question, and thankfully the Speed Source Boxster, Sylvain Tremblay and Scott Schlesinger, the team decided to stay on wet weather tyres. So too did Brian Peel, Ron Pauly, the Toyota Supra. Now it's an all-out slugfest at the top.
And they've been running up front all day. These guys right now, I mean, they're happy it's raining again, because they were looking for water, trying to keep their tires cool, wondering if it was going to stay wet, if the gamble was good or bad. Looks like the gamble's paid off for them.
Chris Neville, tell us more.
Well, guys, I'm down here with the Honda of America racing team, and these guys just came in to put their wets back on. Everybody who was on slicks had come in the previous lap when they were still under caution. These guys were really taking a big risk by staying out there with the weather that was coming over the horizon, and it bit them bad. They had to come in, green flag, and they're putting the wets on now, but they're going to be down pretty close to a full lap.
Chris, do you know about the sister car, the 69 car of Gilsinger and Roush, the other Honda of America racing team car? Are they on wets or dry weather tires?
I think that car is still on slicks out there, but they wanted to get Pete in first.
Gotcha.
I am surprised that, knowing the rain and seeing the rain, they didn't come in when earlier under caution to get those tires done. To make a late choice like that, I mean, that's really hurtful.
All right, let's get up to date. There's the 3rd place car, the number 12 machine for TC Klein Racing of Don Salama. So it's Porsche leads Toyota, leads BMW. We go back to 4th, the Gilsinger Roush entry, the 2nd HRT Acura car running there, and then we have the ST2 class leader is 5th overall. A tremendous effort from those. Guy.
Yeah, just update you, Lee. The lead car, the Boxster, the highest place finish the Boxster's had is a 3rd place finish, and the teammates of Scott Schlesinger and Sylvain Tremblay have never won before together.
Isn't that terrific? They had such a tough time too at Phoenix. They had a coming together with Chuck Goldsborough from Team Lexus. It wasn't their best round there, but the Boxster has come into its own today.
And Sylvain Tremblay, he owns Speed Source and has been doing this for a long, long time. Does a great job, excellent job preparing these cars, and also an excellent driver, as you can see. Look at that rain.
It is hammering down. Here is the ST2 leader, Wayne Nonamaker, the father-son combination. We have spoken so much about these guys before. Joe, the father, Wayne and Will, the sons. Will is back in 7th overall. Of course, he is right up there in the points chase for the ST2 category. His regular co-driver, Howie Liebengood, is ducking between the 43 and 44 car. The HRPworld.com team are running 3 Acuras this weekend. And look at this rain. It is belting down here in Alabama. Some severe thunderstorms rolled through late last night and early this morning. And now it is just big, heavy, solid rain that is making these guys wish they had an office job. It's not a good day to be a race driver today. We'll be back. Stay with us here on Speed Channel.
The BMW 5 Series has changed very little since its introduction in 1997. And with good reason. Because over the last 7 years, it's won more awards and accolades than any other car in its class. Begging the question, what could possibly be changed to improve it? The least price. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
I'm not exactly a small person. Never have been. There aren't many things made for someone like me. Not many things at all. The Black & Decker swivel drill is. It works in 5 different positions, so I don't have to. It's pretty cool for a little guy.
The swivel drill from Black & Decker.
For dry, red eyes, Clear Eyes is awesome. It removes redness and has an ingredient to moisturize. Wow. The difference is clear. Clear Eyes.
Automobile Magazine All-Star. 5 years in a row.
Since the current BMW 5 Series was first introduced, we've found very little to improve on.
Winner, $35,000 to $40,000 category. AAA Auto Guide.
And apparently, many others would agree. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
If you can't see it as it happens, stay up to date each and every weekend with Speed News. Weekends at 7 p.m. Eastern. And of course, Speed News NASCAR edition Sundays at 7 p.m. always Eastern time. Of course, Speed News will keep you up to date with the latest in the world of motorsport. Welcome back to Barber Motorsports Park here in Birmingham, Alabama. The weather is relentless. The track is still as testy as ever. Let's take a look at the race summary because it has been eventful. We've had 4 lead changes. They're official lead changes as they come across the start-finish line. But of course, there has been considerably more around the back part of the circuit, through the mid-course of the circuit as well. The BMW, the Z4 of Don Salama, the Speed Source Boxster of Sylvain Tremblay, they have been going hard at it. We need to keep an eye out further back as we go to green this time round. Caution was due to Buddy Norton going off the track in the Chevy Cavalier. He has since been rescued, and we go back to green for perhaps the last time. We are running out of time. We are toward the closing stages of this one. The Honda running order, updating your positions at the top of the screen. They are official. You see the Toyota Supra rejoining the circuit, and that had a costly spin slide into the Armco barrier earlier, and they went from second way down to something like 17th. That was very, very costly. Ron Pauly is now back in that car, taking over from Brian Peel. We need to focus on these Honda of America Racing Team Acuras, and most notably that of Pete Halsma. He is coming through. Here he is. The 00 machine is on it, and he is still in with a shot, but needs desperately to catch the Boxster and the Z4.
And time is running out. Up to this point, he has done a great job of managing this thing. They've played the tires both ways, in and out, dry tires. Now they're back on rains. It's raining hard right now, but time is running out. And I'll tell you what, Sylvain Tremblay's doing a good job. He's keeping the car out front, keeping the car clean, you know, under control. And the Z4 Salama has he's not had an opportunity. He's had a couple of shots, a couple exciting opportunities, but he's not been able to make it stick.
Couple of cars back, couple of cars in between Pete Halsma and the orange Lexus of Ian James. Those two guys, as you saw at the top of the show, are fighting over the ST1 points battle. But if Halsma can get up there and score his 3rd win of the season, that would be something else. ST2 at the moment, 5th overall. Here we go, the Bill Fenton Motorsports Acura Integra. Bob Beattie doing a wonderful job in these ugly conditions.
And this is tough. This is from the driver's standpoint. This is how you gain experience, because in road racing you have to race in conditions like this, obviously, and the more you do it, I don't say it gets easier, but maybe it gets easier to you personally manage. You can deal with it, but hey, this has been a rough day for these guys.
43, 2nd place in ST2. The combination of Will Nonamaker, Howie Liebengood, the 42 car came in, the 2nd HRPworld.com Acura. They had some problems, but it's all the Bill Fenton Motorsports Acura doing it nicely at the moment.
All one big controlled slide.
Sounds easy
And
from here.
Sometimes it's an out-of-control slide. You know, it's a pitch and catch, can I save it thing.
First 4 cars on the track are ST1 vehicles. The 5th car overall is an ST2 car, and that is Bob Beattie. Congratulations. That's a wonderful effort there. You can see the 0 car of Andy Lally trying to squeeze through. We go back up front, and this fight continues, but we are running out of time. You can see after 62 laps, Sylvain Tremblay is still the race leader. This was scheduled to be an 87-lap race or 2.5 hours, whichever comes first. It looks like time will beat us again. Graphic on screen indicates the biggest movers in this field, and none bigger than Don Salama, the guy running in second. What an awesome effort. Steve Peffer did the work early on to come from 21st to 1st. Peffer runs second now, chasing hard, putting the pressure on Sylvain Tremblay. Whilst we were away, he did get ahead momentarily, then Tremblay came back, and then we fell under that last and most recent caution period. It's Porsche versus BMW, and as far as wet weather racing, it doesn't get any better than this.
And you know, the Z4 is faster than the Boxster, but he can't mount the challenge. He can't get the run to get up on him. He's trying here. You know, Sylvain's giving him the outside, saying, here, you got to take the outside. I'm not going to give you the inside. And he can't quite get up there to get it done. And that's the tough part. You know, he has to follow. If he could just get by, if he could just get up and get the run, get something started, and he got by, I think he could probably get away from the Boxster. Now here it is. He's looking at the inside. He's looking at the inside. There's a big hill right here, and the Boxster's going to cut back in front of him. See, once again, he couldn't. Whoop. Yeah. Sylvain's putting in doing a wonderful job of driving that car. They both are.
Jack, you've just stepped from prototypes, open top cars. How difficult is it for Don Salama in that Z4?
It's not bad. I mean, you're wet, but it's a matter of being able to see, and it looks like both of their windshields are clear enough that they don't have a fogging problem where, you can't actually see the turn. That's the toughest part in driving in the rain. I mean, people say, what's the toughest part? Being able to see. That's the toughest part. And you can see, they can see really well. And that open top car helps that.
Pete Halsmer is some 4.5 seconds in arrears in 3rd. He is the ST1 points leader. He may not be the race winner today. Tremblay could bring up the maiden win for the Boxster. We'll see after this.
An accommodating leather-trimmed interior. 3 spacious rows of seating. It's very refined. Introducing the 240 horsepower Pilot, built by Honda.
59 Ford. It's 2-tone green, 6 shipped on the column. Then it became all rusted out, so we had brown touch-up on it. Looked like it was camouflaged, and it was quite a car.
Sony Vaio owners are accustomed to getting a little extra attention.
Here's your coffee, sir.
Check out the Z1 notebook with Intel Centrino mobile technology, and you'll see why. Beauty and brains in one package. Exactly what you'd expect from Sony. Vaio gives you everything you need, like the V505 with a mobile Intel Pentium 4 processor M.
Can I get you some more water?
I think I'm okay for now.
Call now to get Sony style and design with the V505 with the mobile Intel Pentium 4 processor M.
Is this place always so crowded?
Call toll-free now to get the V505, starting at just $1649. Call now and get free shipping and a free printer with mail-in rebate with the purchase of a Sony Vaio PC with an Intel processor.
Welcome back to Speed Channel's coverage of the Grand Am Cup Series from Barber Motorsports Park, the Sport Touring 200, and we are in the closing stages. Sylvain Tremblay in the Speed Source Boxster has done a mighty driving job, not only in these testing wet conditions, but he's held off this constant pressure from the BMW Z4, the TC Klein Racing entry of Don Salama. Steve Peffer was going hard at it earlier. You can see just in the background is the 3rd place and points leader, Pete Halsmer. The Honda of America racing team Acura is chasing, but he's going to run out of time. There's the Toyota Supra. Ron Pauly in there now. Brian Peel did an excellent job earlier. He set the fastest lap of this race, almost 2 seconds quicker than anybody else. He did slide off the track, and that put paid to their efforts in this one. But can Pete Halsma catch these guys? It doesn't look like it.
I don't think he can catch them. I think what he's hoping for right now is maybe a little bit of a last lap, last part, desperation move. If they bump into each other, slide off, he's going to inherit the win. I don't think he thinks he can run them down, but, you know, he's doing the best he can.
As we said earlier in the show, the score's 2-1 as far as victories. Halsma's had 2 victories, and then the Gaffney-James entry, they've had 1. Will we have a new winner? We'll find out in just 1 lap time. We are on our way home. The Speed Source entry, Sylvain Tremblay, Scott Schlesinger, they've never won together. The best result for these guys has been a 3rd. And they're going all the way to a victory if they can hang on for just under 2.3 miles. Here is the leader for ST2, Bob Beattie. He is the points leader in this category, so another good points haul if he can hang in there where he is. Second is right behind them, the 43 machine, Howie Liebengood and Will Nonamaker. They're right there chasing these guys in the points and on the track as well. So this is going to be a thrilling finish, but they're running out of time, the HRPworld.com boys.
And this racing is as good as you can get in both classes. You got it coming down to the wire for the victory. Point leaders, you know, just this is great.
And they're high in the overall scheme of things too. They're 6th and 7th. They now get the white flag. They're on their way home. Half a lap left to run though, and there's plenty of space up front. The pressure from Salama has eased. I think Sylvain Tremblay's got it.
At this point, you know, Sylvain needs to, it's his to lose. Slides a little bit, but he's been sliding that way every lap, so that's nothing. And I don't think it's a big deal in the car.
As Jack was mentioning earlier, this is the home of the Porsche driving experience, and for Porsche to bring up their first win of the year in the sport touring category, what a marvelous effort. That'll mean a lot to the company.
And as you can see, as the car goes by, you can see the camera scan and see all the Porsches out there in the infield, all the 911s that we used during our classes.
Well, it's going to be a couple of best efforts. Best result for this Boxster, best result for the Z4. There's plenty of reason to celebrate, and also for Pete Halsma because it's good, solid championship points. For Scott Schlesinger, Sylvain Tremblay, sensational stuff. They come to the line. There's pressure still on an ST2, but Tremblay takes the victory. Tremendous effort. Meanwhile, Liebengood and Will Nonamaker. Will Nonamaker is driving this car. He is really hassling Bob Beattie. Looks for the inside run. They're on their way home. Our race winner has already crossed the line. Who will get this? This is for ST2 class honors.
And boy, it looks like something could change here in the last couple of corners, doesn't it? They're both driving their hearts out. But you know, a lot of clean driving today. A lot of people, you know, giving and taking, not taking each other, not crashing into each other. I've seen a lot of that kind of driving today, a lot of professional driving today.
Bob Beattie has handled this pressure. Now look at Will Nonamaker really throwing everything he's got in these last 2 corners, coming down into turn 16, and the run to the line. Bob Beattie will hang on in there and will take his 2nd victory of the year for Bill Fenton Motorsports. Great stuff. And the Acura gets there.
And boy, look, that's as good as it gets. At the line, almost side by side.
Tremendous, and that was 6th place overall, so a mighty effort for the ST2 cars also. But it's Tremblay who takes the win from Don Salama, and Pete Halsma, the points leader in ST1, will settle for 3rd. But it's all about these guys. The Speed Source team, a mighty, mighty effort, and the Boxster stands on top. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.